Shalom, Yasha. This your boy, Brother Shamwa Allah, back at you with another quick edifying video, right? And today's lesson is going to be called The Lies They Tell, okay? First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, Halal, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash, right? That's all praises to the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahawah, and his only begotten Son's name, who you ignorantly call Jesus, whose name is Yahawashi, right? And the Holy Spirit, which is the Rawchaa, Qadash, right? Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who have ruled well through the Spirit and have fed and edified the sheep in these last days, and has pushed this gospel and this truth to the four corners of the earth in these last days. Okay? Like I said, today's lesson is going to be called The Lies They Tell. And it comes from this article that I found yesterday, and it says, listen to it, real 3D model of biblical Eve constructed by Princeton University scientists, right? This was yesterday. So right here you have a picture, the real 3D model picture of biblical Eve, right? And there's just several things wrong with this picture. Well, there's everything wrong with it, at the end of the day. It's not scriptural, right? And, when I saw it, I see she has blonde hair, she has blue eyes, and she has, she lacks melanin in her skin, right? But you're saying that this was Eve from the Bible, right? Okay. So, one of my first thoughts, I just looked up, I know that blonde hair, blue eyes, it's a recessive gene, right? So I went to the Google, right? Went to the Google and I looked up, recessive, right? And the recessive genes, right? So when I looked it up, if you look on the right-hand side, you see that blonde hair is a recessive gene, right? You see that gray and blue eyes are a recessive gene, okay? So you're telling me that Eve in the Bible, had blonde hair and blue eyes, right? A recessive gene, right? I mean, that's, just common sense, right? But, the lies that, that E tells, man, and he expects you to, because you went to Princeton and you went to some, that this is, we got to believe what you're saying, but they have no proof, right? But they say it's a real 3D model, right, of what she would look like. And it's crazy because when you go down and look in this article, it says that, looks like Taylor Swift. Yeah, you know what I mean? It looks like Taylor Swift. So, but, this is the folly and madness of the people that, who are ruling over us at this point, and they feel like they can tell us anything. And, a lot of Jake and Eve, they'll go with it. Oh, yeah, that's Eve, You got our people who will go right with it, right? But no, we know that's not the case, right? So I want to go over a couple of precepts, and like I said, Lord's will is edifying, right? So, and if you have the Spirit, you can understand and retain, what I'm about to get into, right? So let's just get into it, right? Let's start off with our first scripture. Matter of fact, I want to get the blue letter, Salakia. Got all types of stuff going on. Let's get the blue letter real quick. And I want to get a couple of precepts, just kind of proving the point. Okay. The first one I want to get with is, I want to go to the Old Testament. We're going to go to Genesis, right? Genesis chapter 1, right? So, when you read Genesis chapter 1, those who have the understanding, right, who understand when it says, verse 1, it says, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth, right? But when you look up this in the blue letter, right, you see that it's Elohim, right? The word is Elohim, right? This is not talking about the Most High power. This is not talking about Yahawah, right? Yahawah is not even, I believe, not even mentioned in the first chapter, right? It doesn't come until, I believe, either the second or third chapter, right? So when you see this word God, right, it's talking about the Elohim, right? When you read it, right, it says rulers, judges, divine ones. It says angel, right, gods, lowercase gods. And that's actually what it is, right? They're the angels, right? There's Yahawashi and the angels, right? So this, when you read Genesis chapter 1 and verse 1, is talking about Yahawashi and the angels, right? And this is in the creation process, because Yahawah created Yahawashi, right? And through Yahawashi, all things were created. He was the first creation. And then after that, the other creations were created, right? Including the angels, the spirits, the planets, the stars, everything, right? But it all started with Yahawashi, right? And Yahawashi with the angels, right? Or the Elohim. Okay, so when you look at this in Genesis chapter 1, right, it's talking about Elohim, right? So, and if you understand that Yahawashi this is talking about, Yahawashi and the angels, right? And I want to get this real quick. So let's just jump to the point real quick. Let's jump to verse 26, right? Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, and it says, and God, right? I'm going to put Elohim, and it says, and the Elohim said, let us, right? So you understand when it said let us, it's not talking about the Most High, Yahawah. It's talking about the angels, right? Yahawashi and the angels, right? It's talking about multiple people, right? So it says, and the Elohim said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. It says, so the Elohim, right, created man in his own image. In the image of the Elohim created he him, male and female created them. He created them. Okay, so understand that, right? The creation started off, they made man in the likeness of their image, right? So this was Yahawashi and the angels, right? So let's get this real quick. Let's go to the book of Revelation, right? And let's see what the description of Yahawashi looks like, right? Because if he created man and female in the likeness of his image, right? Then let's see what that's talking about, right? Let's go to the book of Revelation, right? Chapter 1, and we'll start at verse number 13, right? And Revelation is the revealing, right? So this is Revelation chapter 1, verse 13. It says, in the midst of the several candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot, with girt about the paps with a golden girdle, right? And this is talking about Yahawashi, right? And we understand that Yahawashi is in Genesis 1, right? And he created him and the angels created man in the likeness of their image, okay? It says, his head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow, right? So the description of Yahawashi, he had gray hair, okay? Woolly hair, right? When you look at that hair, right? It's blonde, right? Which is a recessive gene, right? And it was without, the hair is limp. It's not It's not firm, it's not woolly, like a woolly hair, like you see on the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? So it says, and his eyes as a flame, and his eyes were as a flame of fire, right? Now here's the description of his color, right? And it says, and his feet like unto fine brass, right? So when you look up the brass, you get a penny or a quarter. Or you get a penny, which is copper, which is like a brown tone, right? But it's gonna go further into it. It says, as if they burned in a furnace, right? So Yahawashi's feet, when John the Revelator saw he had a garment down to his foot, and he saw Yahawashi's feet, and his feet were like unto fine brass, as if they were burned in a furnace, right? So it was very dark skin, right? So who was that picture of that lady, right? If Yahawashi, if the Elohim created man and woman in the likeness of their image, then where is that coming from? And that's how the lies that they'll continue to spit. And they're just going to keep telling lies, right? The scriptures say that, what is that? Let me see. Salakia. Let's get that real quick. Let's go to the book of Psalm, right? So we got the description of what Yahawashi looked like, right? Book of Psalm 58 and verse number 3, right? It says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies, right? And that's what these folks do, man, right? From the top banking family, these elites on down, right? The Edomites, right? That's all they do is speak lies, You're saying that you have a real 3D, and the thing is, too, they do wordplay, too. So they'll say, oh, well, we didn't say that. This is a real 3D image of, they'll try to spin, words and do, the ishes, we say that we're ish. We're not, these are the type of games that people play, right? And you got to call them out on it, man, right? And they don't, the thing is, they'll say stuff, but they don't prove it, So you saying that you have created a real life 3D image of what Eve from the Bible would look like, but we know that's not the case, right? But we know, hey, as soon as y'all be born, hey, you're born speaking lies. You come out the womb speaking lies, okay? So if we know that Yahawashi, right, is a dark melanated man, and he created man in the likeness of his image, then who is that, right? The scriptures also tell you, what is it? What is it? I wanted, let me see, Salakia. Let's get, because, matter of fact, here, let's get this one, Salakia. Like I said, I don't want this to be too long. I just wanted to prove, a couple points. So he made, in his image, the likeness of himself. So let's go to Genesis chapter 5 and verse number 2, right? Matter of fact, I'll start at verse 1, right? And it says the descendants of Adam. It says, this is the book of the generations of Adam in the day that the Elohim created man, in the likeness of the Elohim made he him. It says, male and female created he them, right? Male and female created he them, right? In their likeness, in the likeness of themselves, right? Of Yahawashi and the angels, right? So that just shows you that the angels are also dark melanated individuals, okay? So it says, and called their name Adam in the day when they were created, right? So, and when you go to it, what is this? Genesis Let me see, where is it? He made a help beat. Here we go. This is Genesis chapter 2 and verse 23. And it says, and Adam said, this is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken out of man, right? And you got people who, while they're talking, while, they're reading this and they're thinking that, the Most High, put Adam, he went to sleep and then the Most High reached in and grabbed a rib and then used that rib to create the woman. That's not how it was, right? When you see about the creation, he created male and female. Back then, there were a lot of people created. It wasn't just Adam and Eve, right? He gave Adam the breath of life, this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. He set him apart from the living creatures that were in the likeness of his image, right? And, Eve was a relative, right? When it goes into that bone of bone, flesh of my flesh, it's talking about that she was of his kin, and I want to get that. Matter of fact, let's go to 2 Samuel. Okay, or Samuel. So 2 Samuel 5. And let's go to verse 1, right? And you see it says, David made king over Israel, right? This is 2 Samuel chapter 5, verse 1. It says, then came all the tribes of Israel, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, to David unto Hebron, and spake, saying, behold, we are thy bone and thy flesh. It means they're the relatives, they're kin, according to the flesh. Right, and that's what Eve was, to Adam, okay? When you read in Genesis 5 and 2, it said male and female, he made them and called their names Adam, right? So the Adams, they were, if you have, the spirit to understand, they were the Israelites before the Israelites were even on the earth, okay? They were, the forecoming of the Israelites, okay? And if you understand that Yahawashi, was part of the Elohim who created man, and he created in the likeness of his image. And if you can go to his image, right? So in the beginning, in the first chapter of the Bible, you have Yahawashi and the angels working and creating the creations and the things on the earth and creating man and woman, and he created them in the likeness of his image, right? And then you can go to the last book of the Bible, and it tells you what Yahawashi looked like. And he had he was dark skinned, he had very dark skin. Okay. So the picture of who that is, that, like they said, that's Taylor Swift right there, man. We don't know who that is, but that's damn sure not, Eve from the Bible, man. Right. And that's the lies that they tell you. And that's why you got to come out of this, the insanity, and actually, the scriptures tell you to prove all things, man, So, this is, like I say, this is just a little quick exhortation. I came across this and I was like, I got to do a lesson on this. I did want to go maybe a little more in depth, but, hopefully, Lord's will, you have an understanding, of that, of what's going on, but that's definitely not Eve from the Bible, with blonde hair and blue eyes and no melanin, skin. So, like I said, Lord's will is edifying, right? I want to give all praises, honor, and glory. I want to say, call Halal Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. Peace and blessings to the 12 tribes scattered abroad. A mighty shalom to the elect, man. To the 144,000 men, 12,000 from each tribe, right? And to the rest of the elect, stay diligent, stay focused, keep reading, right? It says, blessed is he that readeth, man. Right? Keep cutting down these lies and the deceit that Esau continues to bring, and bring out this truth, man, because the truth, is going to overtake all at the end of the day, and that's what we're out here doing. We're not ignorant to his devices, and we're out here to wake up our people, man, and wake up the elect, right? And feed them the edification and the knowledge that they need. Like I say, Lord's word is edifying, right? And with that, I want to say shalom.